sorry about that. Hi guys, it's Mina, and today in this video I'm going to do a movie review because today's my birthday and I want to do a movie review on a favorite movie of my childhood, which is The Fox and the Hound. And I'm sorry I'm talking so fast. I want to make this intro as fast as possible just so I can just get to the characters really fast, because I made this video before but it was too long so I couldn't upload it, so I'm going to get started. So The Fox and the Hound is about these two, about a fox named Todd who is voiced as an adult by Mickey Rooney, and as a child he is voiced by Keith Mitchell, and a hound named Copper, and he's voiced by Kurt Russell as an adult and Corey Feldman as a puppy. And the two become friends, and they don't know that they're supposed to be enemies, and later when they grow up they start to realize that they're supposed to be enemies, but they later on realize that they can still be friends even though they're supposed to be enemies. Okay, so to start off, I love The Fox and the Hound. It's one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. It's got a wonderful story, wonderful characters, wonderful songs, and amazing backgrounds. So I'm going to talk about the characters, and I apologize again for talking really fast. I want to make this intro as fast as possible. I'm going to make this as fast as possible. So first I'm going to start off with Todd, and he's a fox, and what I like with Todd is that he's curious, clumsy, always into everything, and always gets into trouble, and he's very kind and caring, and he'll do whatever it takes to take care of those in need, especially his friend, even though his friend was attacking him. And he's voiced by Keith Mitchell as a young child, and Keith Mitchell I'm not familiar with in anything else but this movie, and he's voiced by Mickey Rooney, who I think just passed away last year, which stinks, who just recently passed away last year as an adult, and he's in the movie The Black Stallion, which I've only seen I think once or twice, and he's in the movie National Velvet, which I've only seen once, with Elizabeth Taylor. And next I'm going to talk about Copper, and he's a dog, and what I like about Copper is I like how he and Todd are best friends when they're younger, and then later he thinks of them as enemies, and then later after Todd stands up for him after a bear comes to attack him, again they realize that they can still be friends even though they're supposed to be enemies, and friends are always there for each other. And he's voiced by Kurt Russell, and Kurt Russell as an adult, and Kurt Russell I'm very familiar with from the movie Lost in Space and Dreamer. And when he's in the younger version, he's voiced by Corey Feldman, and he was in The Goonies, and I'm very familiar with The Goonies. Next I'm going to talk about Big Mama, and she's an owl. And what I like about Big Mama is that I like how she is kind of like a caregiver to Todd. She watches out for him, teaches him lessons in song, which is pretty fun, and she's his friend, and she's always there for him, and then she makes sure he is settled with everything, especially if he lives in the forest. And she's an owl, by the way, and she's voiced by Pearl Bailey, and Pearl Bailey I'm not familiar with in anything else but this movie. And by the way, she's a really good singer. You guys have to hear her sing in this movie, and I bet a lot of you guys have heard her sing if you've seen The Fox and the Hound. So next I'm going to talk about Dinky, and what I like about Dinky is he's the smart one. He's always coming up with ideas, and he's always he and his friend Boomer, who's a woodpecker, always chases after a small little caterpillar, and they'll try everything they can to get the worm, and they work together, and he also helps teach Todd lessons as well. And he's voiced by Dick Bakalyan, and I don't know, it's Bakalyn. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not familiar with him in anything else but this movie. Next character I'm going to talk about is Boomer, and he's a woodpecker. I love how Boomer's kind of not very bright, and he does dumb things, like he'll break a branch that he's standing on, or he will peck something that shakes Dinky, especially if he's inside of it, and he'll peck something that's electric. which is pretty funny. And he's just not very bright. Dinky's smart. And he's a woodpecker, by the way, and he's voiced by Paul Winchell. And Paul Winchell, I'm familiar with him as Tigger from The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. The next character I'm going to talk about is Squeaks the Caterpillar. And what I like about Squeaks is that he is always running away from Dinky and Boomer. And he like always outsmarts them, and he shows that he's a lot smarter than both of them by going under things that'll shock them, or he'll move around or hide in a hole that he knows that they're gonna break. Next I'm going to talk about Vixie, and she's a fox, and what I like about Vixie is I love how she's kind and caring and cares for Todd, and she'll do whatever it takes to make sure he's comfortable where he's going to live, and she wants to be his friend and do whatever it takes to make him feel better and help him out, even especially flirt with him. And she is voiced by, and she's a fox, by the way, and she's voiced by Sandy Duncan. And Sandy Duncan I'm pretty familiar with. I've heard of her, but I don't think I've ever really seen her or anything, but I've heard her voice in a couple of things. Like, I think she does a voice of herself in the Scooby movies. I don't know. I didn't see it on the list, but I don't think she did. I'm not sure if she did. Anyway. And I'm familiar with her in the movie Rockadoodle, and she played a character called Peepers. And I don't remember what the character Peepers looked like, because I've only seen Rockadoodle once. Next I'm going to talk about Chief, and he's a dog. And what I don't like about Chief is that he he'll do whatever it takes to harm Todd and ruin his and Copper's friendship, and he doesn't care that they're friends, and he kind of annoys everybody, including Copper, and tries to get attention, which is really obnoxious. And he's a dog, and he's voiced by Pat Buttram. And Pat Buttram I'm pretty familiar with from the movie Robin Hood. He as a sheriff of Nottingham, the Aristocats as Napoleon. And he's in Green Acres as Mr. Haney, and Green Acres is one of my favorite shows. And he's also in the movie The Rescuers, and he played Luke. Now I'm going to go on with the human characters. I'm going to start off with Amos Slade, and what I don't like about Amos Slade is I don't like how he is into hunting, and he'll kill animals for a sport, and that's kind of harsh to kill animals for a sport. And I don't like how he doesn't like Todd. He threatens to harm him if he goes on his property again. Again, it's really depressing because Todd never gets to see his friend and stuff. And he's voiced by Jack Albertson, and Jack Albertson I'm pretty familiar with from the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Next I'm going to talk about Widow Tweed. What I like about Widow Tweed is I love how she's very kind. She takes care of Todd when he's a fox kid after his mom dies. And she'll make sure she's safe, and she'll do whatever she can to keep him safe. Even lock him up in the house just to prevent the hunters from killing him. And then she treats him like a child, a human child, just because she's all alone and has nobody with her. And she's voiced by Jeanette Nolan, and Jeanette Nolan, I'm not familiar with her in anything else but this movie. Next I'm going to talk about the setting. I have no idea exactly where this movie takes place. All I know is that it's somewhere in the Old South because I can tell by the southern accents in the movie. But I'm not too sure where exactly it takes place because I did a whole bunch of research, looked it up on the internet, I couldn't find anything. So I have no idea where this movie takes place. If you guys know, then please let me know in the comments down below. What I like about it is it takes pretty much place like near a farm, on a farm, and then in like the Old South somewhere. And I love like all the artwork that's done because it looks so realistic. And they did a great job with the colors in the movie. I like all the Technicolor colors that they used in the movie just to make the forest look realistic. Okay, so I would recommend The Fox and the Hound to anybody who likes animals, good friendships, anything that has realistic forests, because this has a lot of realistic forests. And rivalries, like neighbor rivalries and hunting and friendships that grow stronger, but even though if the two friends are supposed to be enemies. Okay, so that was my review on The Fox and the Hound. Sorry, my back was itchy. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in another video soon. Bye!